Creating those one-of-a-kind cards that bring a smile to your friends and family is priceless. Today I'm going to share some tips and techniques that will allow you to create a beautiful one-of-a-kind card that has a beautiful gatefold flap. It opens up and you have this dreamy setting on the inside. So I can't wait to share the flower shaping techniques, some ombre stamping, coloring techniques that I think you'll absolutely love. So join me and we'll get started creating this card with our new Hollyhock Garden Collection. So before we get started, we're going to go ahead and take a look at some more samples that have been created with this collection. So as you can see, it's an iconic collection that just really allows you to add those florals to your gates and really create a beautiful kind of summertime ambiance. And I absolutely love just the simplistic beauty of this collection. So I think you'll have a lot of fun creating with this. So we're just going to get started, and I think your creative imagination is going to go wild. So we're going to start by coloring the flowers, where we have them stamped two different ways. So in this set, you have the hollyhock petals and leaves. Within this set, you have a couple sizes of flowers and leaves, plus the coordinating die that cuts it out and the shaping mold. So when you have these stamped, I stamped this in the mulberry archival ink, and then I also did one in a white pigment ink. This is a little bit harder to see, and a vintage embossing powder. We'll link those products in the bottom of this video. So to get started, we're going to go ahead and color these. Now, the one that I heat embossed that has those lighter, white edges, what we're going to do is color those with a pink peony. And as you color it, you'll see the white show up. So it's kind of like an ink resist coloring technique, which I absolutely love. So with this flower, this is the type of flower that is like a climbing flower. If you're not familiar with it, or if it doesn't grow where you live, it's a climbing flower that gets attached to some beautiful leaves that really grow along like maybe old barns or fence lines and fun things like that. So we'll just get a close-up look of that flower so you can see that a little bit better. So you'll see that really beautiful stamped image colored very quickly and easily. Now for the one that has more of the bright stamping with the mulberry, you'll just switch colors using the magenta hue. And again, you could do multiple colors, or you can stick to that one color when you are coloring these. Now, as always with flowers, we like to have that main iconic flower that we're creating. But just think about all the versatility with this flower. This is a 4-petal flower, so you're going to be able to stamp it on vellum. You're going to be able to stamp it on cardstock. You're going to be able to shape it many different ways, so that you maximize your versatility with it. So once this is colored, you're going to go ahead and you're going to lay this into your shaping mold. The beauty of this one is you can put it stamped side up or down, just depending on what you are wanting to achieve with it. So you can do either way. Today I'm going to have stamped side down, and I think those are the only two that I'm going to put in here. Let a little bit of water mist on top, put the lid on, and we'll run this through, and that will shape it for us. So this is just an absolute exquisite collection that has just many beautiful background stamps. It has that fence in it that I think you'll absolutely love creating cards with. It's just a really great background base to add these hollyhocks. And then you can also use these flowers for other occasions and really mix and match, layer, and just have a lot of fun with those. So let's take a look at these when they come out. So this is shaped for you. You really don't have to do anything else to it if you don't want to. However, if you wanted to, you can do multiple layers. You could squeeze those petals and you have some beautiful multi-dimensional flowers that look completely different. And at the very end, I'm going to show you tons of samples that were created with this collection and some versatile ways that these flowers were shaped. Now, for the flower centers, there are many different ways that you can create these. However, we did use the stamens called Pastel Pollen stamens. These are really pretty, and I'll show you a very quick and easy way to add these to your flower centers. Now, normally we poke a hole through the center of our flower and we just string this through, but with these you can adjust the length so that you still have this pointy stamen, but you can adjust the length according to what you're wanting to create. So with this one, I'll clip it about halfway off, and then I am going to put a puddle of hot glue right along the center and kind of up each petal, and we're going to pop that stamen right in the middle, and we're just going to bring those petals up. And we're going to do this one more time with the big one, and then one time with a small one, so you can see how that looks on the small one as well. So we're going to do that, and let's do that one more time so you see a repeat of that. Again, just clip that stamen pretty much in half, and then add that hot glue, and just go down the center, down the sides, and you have a beautiful flower that you can just lift those petals, and it's done. So this flower is so simple, so elegant, easy to create with, and it still looks like you spent a lot of time creating with it. Now, if that kind of goes to the side, you can use like a something to just move that around a little bit if you wanted to. Okay, so we'll lay that aside to dry, and then the teeny tiny ones. Now you could obviously just add prills to the center, but this just adds a fun little element, especially if you're hand giving those cards. So for this one, what I'll do is I'll clip this stamen really tightly up to the tip, and then I'll just put a little bit of hot glue right on this. Just make sure you do not burn your fingers. You could also use a tweezers for this part if you wanted to, if you don't feel confident doing it like I am. And then you'll just bring that in the center and wrap those petals up, and you have that beautiful flower all ready for your cards. So that's the basics with this flower, and then you can go ahead and shape them many different ways, or you can add them on the main background images to create kind of this, you know, this backyard scene that you just want to sit by and sip a cup of your favorite beverage, your tea, coffee. So with these, we have those main iconic background images that you're also going to layer the flowers with. This one is the Hollyhock Stem and Blooms, which has the larger ones in it. And then we have the Hollyhock Fence, which has the smaller ones in it. Now, a question we get asked a lot is this: how do you stamp up an image where the flowers are pink and the leaves are green if you want to kind of have that multi-ombre colored effect in your image? So I'm going to do that next, and then we're going to go ahead and show you how to color these images. So first of all, what I'm going to do is use the color that's the least powerful, which in my opinion on this one is the olive. So I'm going to go ahead and just take my ink pad and just put that to where I see that the green leaves are. Now, you can kind of guesstimate this, and you don't have to be super accurate or perfect. This is something where you kind of have to let go of your perfection if you tend to have that, and just have some fun creating with this. Then I really use the corner of my ink pad and just dab down and just kind of go in a circular motion over those flowers, and you will rub into where the green was just a little bit, and that's okay. Now when we stamp this, we're going to see if we did a good job or if we didn't. And that's the beauty of learning this. If you didn't ink it completely, there will be some gaps. So let's see what we find with this one. So this one was really good. So you'll see on this one that there is a little bit of blend of the red in some of these leaves, and that's okay. It still has that two-tone effect, and it's really pretty. So we're going to bring these in and color them. Now for this one, we stamped it the same way we just showed you, and then went back and used the magenta hue and just color those flowers very quickly in a circular motion. So you really don't have to spend a lot of time adding color to these background images. Switch it out and use that olive and vivid chartreuse as the background for these leaves. So you'll do that on both sets here. And sorry, my hand was kind of blocking that. So this is the vivid chartreuse, and you'll do that on each one of these leaves up here. And then we'll come back and add the olive to this. So this is just a great quick way. I'm really using the tips of the sponge daubers. If you do not have the sponge daubers, these are excellent for getting into those tight corners, having great control over your coloring, your pressure, and still getting the look that you spend a lot of time when it really is easy peasy. I'm just going to go back and add a little bit of magenta hue and color these flowers in up here. This one is pretty easy because you pretty much just have the green down here and mostly red and some green leaves in here. So at this point, what are we ready for? We are ready to assemble the card base, and that is the beauty of this particular collection. I absolutely love the versatility of this. So this one was again stamped in white, embossed in the embossing powder that is escaping my head right now what it's named. We'll just link it below. But what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and cut out 2 gates and then reinforce them with a white piece of cardstock so they're really stiff, because you are going to anchor that on the front of this card. Now what I want you to do is you are going to go ahead and you'll have one of these gates hanging off the edge of this card, because that's going to loop around the back, and then you're going to have this one pulled, and you'll see that this piece will cover over this section. So we're going to go ahead and add a little bit of hot glue right in this section. So we'll do that really quickly, and we'll literally just go ahead and lay this on top. Now if you wanted to, when you're doing this, make sure that you put a piece of cardstock in between these layers when you're gluing, so that you don't accidentally glue the back, glue through the fence and things like that. Now you can go back and just clip off that excess piece, and you have that fence connected. Then you'll go back, you will fold this piece, add some glue, and you are going to be ready to add that hinge to your card base. Don't you just love how quickly and beautifully this comes together? I absolutely adore this technique with adding this fence. So we're going to go ahead and just close this up, and then you can add your flowers, your hollyhock, and all that good stuff. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my black piece of cardstock and put this in between so that we don't accidentally glue this shut, okay? But before we do that, it's probably good for us to put our oval in place. No, you know what? I'm just going to put my oval in the front where I think I'm going to do it so that I can see when I'm placing these in. So you're going to go ahead and add this piece in first, and we're just going to add a little bit of glue down in here, and that's going to catch onto our fence area. So you can just bring this one in. Actually, sorry guys, this one needs to go in the front. So we're just going to go ahead and do this on the back. I got a little bit ahead of myself on this one. There's some others that we want to put in the back. So here we go. If you accidentally do that, you can always scrape away your glue that you have up here. Cover that with glitter so that there's nothing lost. So that's a quick little rescue if you happen to do something like I just did. And then we're going to go ahead and add this piece. This is another one of the larger ones. This piece you just clip off, and we're going to hook this into this fence pretty much right into this section. And so if you anchor in your largest pieces first, then you can see where you want to add some of your smaller pieces. So say you want to add this piece in this section. You can kind of see where you want to add those. So we're going to go ahead and add this one over here. And you can see how quickly, how easily, and how beautifully this creates these background pieces. And you can add a little bit more shaping if you want to. This is the one that we're going to have come in from the back on that oval, so we're going to wait to put that one on. But before we do that, we're going to pop one in over here as well. So we're just going to go ahead and do this and bring that right underneath this leaf. Now we can go ahead and open this back up. Okay. And we're going to add that oval. I'm just going to add a little bit of glue on the top and the bottom. So hopefully this gets you jump started on some creative ideas that you can use with the Hollyhock Garden Collection. It's a super pretty, elegant collection that really allows you to create those very quick and easy birthday cards, thinking of you, get well soon. And they are just so fun to create with, and they just bring a smile to your friends and family. So we're just going to pop that one right back there. Isn't that just so pretty in itself? So you can add lots of dimension, or you can just keep it super simple. Now the next step is adding those beautiful flowers. So we're going to go ahead and just start adding these. You can add some kind of laying to the side if you wanted to. Let me just bring that so you can see where we added that first one. Then we're just going to go ahead, add one in over here. Add our third largest flower in here. You can continue to add your leaves, add your smaller flowers, and you can see on this card how that just finishes off and gives that nice, beautiful dimensional piece that is just going up off of that fence. And then you have some more over on this side. So hopefully that inspires you to create your own one-of-a-kind masterpieces. Now, as you know, with these, there are so many creative ways that you can use this, and that's what I wanted to show you next. We're going to take a look at the paper collection, and then I have a whole basket full of cards that our design team from all across the globe has created for you. So we'll take a look at the paper collection. So again, this set has 3 stamps, 3 different dies, and a shaping mold to make it easy peasy for you. This is the Hollyhock fence. And this one is a Hollyhock stem and blooms with those two larger pieces in there. And then this is the one with the individual flowers and leaves, along with the shaping mold that coordinates. So with this paper collection, it is just like summer's magic. I think this was so beautiful. This is a sheet that is absolutely phenomenal to just cut apart those sentiments. They are done for you. You can add them. And then this is bringing some images from previous collections in as well, in a different color scheme. So this will really get you jump started with a color palette behind it. So here are some card samples again of what were created. This is your A2 size card, not as much dimension, using the smaller flowers. Here is another one. This is going sideways with that fence, and then you have that opening. Super pretty. And then this is the one that we just created. Now, for these samples that we've created with this one, here's one where the fence is in the center, and then you have the bold, iconic hollyhocks on the side. Here's one where you just have a couple like main pieces going up. And that's the beauty of the background of this hollyhock, is you get to add as many or as little as you like, and it really creates that iconic image on top of decorative dies. And we've paired many different decorative dies in different ways with this collection. Now look at this one. In the paper collection, you'll have these beautiful birdhouses and background images that just create that cozy summer garden feel. But here you have the hollyhocks just double layered, so lots of variations on what you can do with those just based on your creativity. And you can also use some of those leaves to add more greenery in the background and then have an iconic hollyhock going up the center. Or you can just keep it more traditional and just use that as a flower cluster in the center. Or if you love to color, these are so pretty, just colored and more of a flat image as well. And then here you have the fence, and we paired some birdies from a previous collection. I think it was the Clematis collection on this one. So super beautiful in ways that you can use this. Beautiful A2 size card, your 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And here you have another one, just using the beautiful background papers and doubling up those flowers, really giving them some twists and shaping with those. And here's another one. So hopefully this really inspires you to create your own one-of-a-kind Hollyhock garden cards. If you don't have this collection yet, I've added all the products links below for quick and easy ordering, so you can get started creating your own cards today. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss out on our upcoming videos. We'll see you next time. Bye.